The Last of Us Factions is a multiplayer that has been out for almost 12 years, yet still finds new players joining the game to this day. And if you are one of those people, or even someone who has been playing for a while, and aren't as good as you'd like to be, then these 5 tips in this video will help you become better. The final tip being the most important. So the first tip I have for you is to have map awareness. Map awareness can consist of a few things, like learning and memorizing the location of health kits, learning the best lines of sight, knowing every potential spawn point, and getting familiar where every piece of cover is in each map. You definitely want to get familiar with each map and know your surroundings. A lot of times I'll see people in gunfights, and when they try to get away, they get stuck on a wall or a piece of cover that they didn't know was there, leading to their utter demise. So if you can remember where everything is without looking directly at it, it'll allow you to get away and maneuver around the map a lot more easily. Keeping on the subject of cover, do know that cover doesn't always mean you are safe. There are a few ways you can still be attacked while hiding behind cover, such as the bow. Its arch can allow arrows to hit you behind cover. Also, you can be flushed out behind cover with smoke bombs or nail bombs. It may seem like an obvious tip, but you'd be surprised how often people forget. Touching back on learning the best lines of sight, there are a few maps in the game that allow you to get certain angles on the enemy. I won't go into detail over every single one, but I'll showcase a few in this video to give you an idea. So now that you have full map awareness, we're going to move on to the next tip, which is understanding every weapon. The Last of Us Factions has a variety of different weapons that all work very differently from one another. Not all guns work the same, so get familiar with every gun that you can, or try to focus on 1 or 2 guns at first to get very familiar and comfortable with. Every gun in the game has its own corresponding fire rate, recoil, and damage output. So once you understand how every weapon in the game works, we're going to move on to the third tip, which is movement. Naturally, this game is very slow when it comes to movement and other animations. If you want a more aggressive and faster playstyle, use Agility 2 or Lone Wolf, which offers Agility 2. When you are moving throughout the map, you want to use cover to advance and engage, but also you want to think 2 steps ahead of the enemy. Don't wait to get behind cover once you start getting shot at. With the game's desync and lag, you can get shot going back behind cover, sometimes several times. It can be a bit frustrating, but once you get used to it, you'll know to be sure to get behind something ahead of time to be safe. A key factor in movement in this game is to learn how to corner shoot. This can be done by standing at a corner of a wall or a doorway and pressing the aim button. Once you press the aim button, you'll notice that your character will slide out left or right depending which shoulder you're aiming at. When you release aim, your character will slide back to where he first started. This will allow you to slide and pop out of cover quickly. You could also use the shoulder swap to slide in and out much faster. So once you've mastered your movement, we'll move on to tip number 4, aim. Aim sensitivity in The Last of Us Factions is very limited, so I recommend getting comfortable with the sensitivity and just sticking with it and mastering that sensitivity. Lower sensitivity will allow you to make adjustments a little easier. Lower sensitivity will also cause you to take longer to track moving enemies, especially if they are sprinting away. Higher sensitivity does the exact opposite. It makes minor adjustments more difficult and also results in over-adjusting your aim. While higher sensitivity will also allow you to track moving enemies that are sprinting a little easier. Also, when it comes to aiming, I recommend to not hard aim or holding down aim for too long. A lot of times people will just pre-aim and hold down aim the entire time they are firing their weapon. This works if you're using an automatic gun, but if you are using a semi-automatic gun, I recommend letting go of the aim button after each shot. Line your shot up, aim, fire, release, then aim again, and so on and so forth. This allows for quicker shots and negates some recoil, especially in burst weapons. So now that you've learned map awareness, gotten familiar with every weapon, mastered your movement and aim, it's time to talk about the final and most important tip in this video, and that is confidence. I'll be the first to tell you, if you lack confidence and don't believe in yourself, you will lose 10 times out of 10. A lot of encounters can be more of a mental game rather than physical. You want to be more confident in your decision making. You don't want to second guess yourself on what routes to take or whether or not to engage in a firefight. Hesitating can lead to your death. That doesn't mean always engage in a firefight. Know when to back off and know when to push. So I recommend finding out ways that can help your confidence in this game. For me personally, Scavenger helps me be more confident in engaging since it gives me more ammo. Having limited ammo can cause you to be unsure if you are fully equipped to take on an enemy or two. Second Chance is also a good perk that can help you become more confident since you won't have to worry about not having health. especially paired with first aid training. If you are someone who is confident in their aim, use sharpshooter to get health back from headshots. The only way to be confident is to commit to what you are doing, even if it isn't the right choice. Learn from your failures, understand what went wrong, and then you can truly become better in The Last of Us factions. Guys, I hope you found this video helpful. It was fun putting my own list of tips and tricks together, put my own spin on it, if you will, stuff that I've personally learned throughout the years of playing this game. I wanted to make something that was different than your standard tips and tricks videos that have already been made on this game. It still amazes me that to this day there are still people just now finding out about this multiplayer game that had no clue about it, and they're just now getting involved in the game. It's awesome, man. So if you found the video helpful, be sure to leave a like, comment down below if you've learned anything, or comment down below any other tips that you may have for other players. Until then, guys, I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Have a fantastic day.